Okay, so today we're going to work on some thermal energy practice problems. So here are some definitions if you need to revisit the definitions of what these are. When I printed this, it tried to continue numbering, so this is actually 1, 2, 3, etc. So the first step for anytime we're doing any calculations in science, we need to identify which equation we're going to start using. So that's step one. Step one, we're going to write out the equation. So the equation is thermal energy is equal to the specific heat, C, times the mass, times the change in temperature. From there, step two is to identify all of our variables. So I can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4 variables. Now I'm going to identify them. So in question 1, it says the temperature of 57 grams of water, so that's mass, 57 grams of water, is raised from 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. What would be the increase in thermal energy? So if we have 20 to 25, we need to know the change in temperature. So you take the difference between those, and that is 5 degrees Celsius. Make sure you're writing your units. So we want to figure out what would be the increase in thermal energy. That gets your question mark. If the specific heat of water is 4.18 joules per gram degrees Celsius. From here, step 3, we're already solving for our unknown. So step 3 would be to plug it in. So thermal energy is equal to the specific heat, 4.18 joules per gram degrees Celsius, times the mass of 57 grams, times the change in temperature of 5 degrees Celsius. So you can see here gram is on top and the bottom, they go away. Celsius on the top, on the bottom go away. The unit is in joule, which is the unit for thermal energy, so we know we set the equation up correctly, so we can go ahead and multiply. So if you were to do this in the calculator, the thermal energy for question 1 is 1,191.3 joules of energy. Number 2. First step, identify the equation. Thermal energy is Cm delta T. Identify your variables. 60 grams of water is the mass. The temperature decrease of 7.5 degrees Celsius. What would be the thermal energy? And the specific heat is 4.18 joules per grams degrees Celsius. The equation is already setting up for our unknown, so we're going to go ahead and just plug it in and solve. Again, grams on top and the bottom, they go away. Celsius on the bottom and the top, and they go away. We're left with a joule, which is the unit for specific heat. We set it up correctly. The answer for question number 2 is 1,881 joules. These are the same as that. We're going to, instead of using the specific heat on page 251, I posted an image of it, of the table it's referencing on the blog. So you can go there to help you with number 3 and 4 and 5. I'm just going to continue down here because you can do these by yourself. Go back and watch the video for 1 and 2 if you need help. So for number 6, what's going to be different, we're going to look for the mass. So what we're going to need to do is whenever we have our equation, thermal energy is specific heat times mass times change in temperature, we need to solve for M. How I can solve for M is dividing both sides by C delta T. So C goes away, delta T. I'm going to rewrite it. M is equal to the thermal energy divided by the specific heat times change in temperature. Using this equation, because I manipulated it to solve for my unknown, you can be able to calculate the mass of the substance. Have a good day.